lovely day. Yeah, I'm thankful for another lovely day. Yeah, I'm thankful for another lovely day. Kinfolk. Let me see what they talking about. Let me see what they talking about. Let me see what they talking about. Pull up with for a lot of us. For a lot of us. We can't make sense out of why these grown people still acting like little children. Why it seems like this person keep talking about they want to be in a relationship with me, but they guard still up. They guard still up. Well, quite frankly, their guard still up. They ain't seen enough. They ain't seen enough. They ain't seen enough to make them feel like this it. So often we get a no and we think, all right, that's it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you like this: anybody with perseverance or anybody who has been successful at convincing somebody of anything recognizes this. We set up to say no on the face of anything. That's just how we set up. We got like a salesman default in us, you feel me? Like, nah, you can't just downright just sell anybody anything, you feel me? Not just, oh, okay, this is what I'm selling. Nah, you gotta sell it, you feel me? Which means to come across, to appear as though it's something that one needs. And should they not have it, they will have a sense of fear of missing out. So, again, if you don't apply yourself, if you don't do no work without having the ball, appreciate that. Make sure y'all hit the like button when y'all come in. They trying to ban the positive, man. If you don't do no work without having the ball, which in this sense means, when everybody's not around, when no one's looking, are you putting in that work to make yourself better? Or are you just moping around, waiting on somebody to come around in order to make you feel better? Because truth be told, can't nobody make you feel better. People can only come around as though full moons and make you feel whatever way you already chose to feel about yourself. Because truth be told, it's what we believe that leads to the thought processes that we receive or AKA achieve. Because you working towards something whether you know it or not. Whether you know it or not. You working towards an attitude that may be becoming, or you working towards an attitude that may not be becoming of what you say you really want. And when your desires don't meet with your reality, that's when the dissatisfaction comes into play. That leads to the overexaggeration in other places. So, truth be told, it's imperative that we get on board with ourselves. That's why I always say tap in. Because in order to receive true freedom, we're going to have to go within. You feel me? Right now, we so outside of ourselves or beside ourselves, we doing whatever the hell everybody else think is what's going to work. We doing what worked for everybody else. But we ain't doing nothing that we know works for us. So often when I get sick, man, I tap in, man. I think about, what did Big Mama do for me when I was sick? What did my mama do when I was sick? See what I'm saying? I had two contrasts to this. A lot of times when I was growing up, maybe when I was a little baby, my mama probably was, on the caring for me thing. But as I began to, I would say like about 6, 7, I started noticing a separation take place where, my mother would allow for me to self-soothe, heal myself. It might have been before 6, really. But that self-soothing thing, it took on a new life with me and my mother. I even had to look back sometime and ask myself, why this lady used to just let me go through shit and never take a moment to, baby me like everybody else or like she did my other siblings. But for me having kids myself, how y'all doing? For me good morning. For me having kids myself, I recognize that you have to treat each kid a certain way. And so I recognize also in hindsight that we having this conversation, shoot, she seen things in me that I'm starting to recognize too. My ability to recover, my ability to overcome obstacles, to the point my mother used to be like, man, that boy crazy, feel me? But it was just, I was learning at such a rapid rate, she couldn't make sense of it. You see what I'm saying? And like I said, you got some, like this title say, you got a whole bunch of grown ass kids. So it's the things that you learn when you were a kid is gonna determine how you deal with your problems going forward. So if you never had the chance to, how you doing, amigo? You never had the chance to self-soothe, you never had the chance to figure out what works best for you, then when it comes time for you to do what you need to do when nobody else is around, it'll be hard for you to do so. It'll be hard for you to do so. Teamwork make the dream work. Teamwork, it'll be hard for you to do so. But like I said, let's get back into these grown kids, all right? So look, you ever wonder why these grown kids keep on playing games with you? Think about it. When you was a kid, or when you was watching kids, or anytime you done been around kids, I know you heard this phrase, man, this joker want to just see what they can get away with. They out here trying to figure out life, so they trying to see what is what, how it work, etc. So anytime you come in contact with any of us grown-ass kids, and I say grown-ass kids because we all were kids once, and the moment that we forget about how people's childhood shapes them, then it's hard for us to understand where they coming from. And we tend to put ourselves in situations that we don't have to be in. Wouldn't it be a beautiful thing if you could just get like a Carfax report of people's childhood before you start fucking with them? And not to mention if you was having the wherewithal to recognize, you can't write off certain things. This ain't taxes. You can't just write this shit off and get the benefit. Because as much as you would want, this is the upcoming video too, as much as you would want people to stop stepping on you when they done been stepping on you for so long, it's like, shoot, bro, you done made them accustomed to stepping on you. Like, you the rug. What make you think a motherfucker gonna just pick the rug up and try to see if the rug can walk? That's not what people do. That's not what people do. So quite frankly, they just gonna keep walking on you. Keep walking on you. And even furthermore, they gonna get cocky by the big step on your ass. Big stepper. But you gotta step up to the plate, which is you, and recognize that you're valuable. Stop putting yourself in situations that leave you open to other people wanting to do fuck shit to you. And you won't have to worry about that shit. I don't have to worry about trusting a soul as long as I handle my business. But when you leave room for others to care for you, to do anything in that nature for you, and I'm mainly talking to my bros right now, because the leverage don't work in your favor when it's like that, big bro. It don't work that way. Nobody sits there, not in today's time. It used to be a time when they recognized the value in certain bloodlines, and people would go out their way to dedicate their time and effort to continue that bloodline. But nowadays, when, our family structures have been broken down so far as to say you got the man and the woman against each other, we don't have a family. And it's no surprise that we don't have a community. Because even in our relationships, it's not a common unity. Now, I'm not saying this for people to get down on themselves, but I really am saying this for us to acknowledge the things that's taking place and how we are affected by it. Now, to me, the obvious solution is, got a lot of us that want to find different things that will serve us going forward based on our unique experience and how we gonna, fix that shit. Because if we think about culture, there are so many things insulated or involved in culture, you know what I'm saying, before you get to the totality of culture. And it starts with the relationships between man and woman. And based on what's acceptable, it becomes the culture. So here it is, when we've been assimilated or forced into a culture, it's imperative that man and woman look around and see what culture are you trying to perpetrate. You feel me? And as much as we might sit here and say, I'm not trying to be no white person, I'm not trying to be like the dominant society, how can you not? How can you not? When there's rules in place to keep those that are under these rules in place, how can you not acquiesce to the dominant, you know what I'm saying, society? It's nowhere around it. It's right there in your face. It's telling you, either you're gonna do what we do in this culture, or you're gonna get up through here. And we're gonna get paid off of you having to work for free to support the bloodlines that do want to get along with what we talking about. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I recognize there's a lot of things within our cultures or previous culture that left us open and susceptible to certain things, as well as left us open to the karma that was set for us. To the karma that was set for us. Based on the handwork of our fathers that came before us. So when you think about that shit, it's like, my nigga, can you really not see why this stuff going on? You just ain't went back far enough, huh? I feel you. As a grown-ass kid, it's a lot of things that you didn't so-called do. It's a lot of things that happened before you. But as you being a grown man or grown woman, you should understand how things work and how things come into be, and how it's no excuse for you nor me not knowing the things that are becoming for us to be. Otherwise, we are the problem. If we're not constantly working towards the betterment of ourselves, we're not constantly thinking from a standpoint of how is this gonna better my life, then you're your own problem. In a sense, you're your own problem. Because it's a constant work. It's a constant work. It's a constant work. And we all got work to do. You know, even when you feel the pain is so unbearable in the area that you have to go, you still have to keep going. I don't know how many of y'all ever been in a situation where maybe your parent or a loved one took you somewhere that was for your betterment, right? And once you got there, you know, at first you're like, man, I ain't trying to go there. I don't even know what this is. Because, you know, as a kid, a lot of things we don't know. We choose not to associate ourselves with. And we base it based on how our parents respond to it. So when my mother and sometimes my father would have me go different places, I'd be like, man, I ain't trying to do this shit. But then after it was over with, and I recognized the value and the reason why they was trying to get me to go do it, I was like, man, I'm so glad that my parents cared enough to allow for me to do things, or to allow for me to do things even if I didn't understand the purpose, but they put me in a position. And so often we gotta put our children, put ourselves, our child that's in us, the child that's in us, we gotta put that child in a state of being able to experience different things in life. Being able to experience their own greatness. Because it's only gonna rise to the occasion. You feel me? But if there's never an occasion for it to rise to, then, like I do, it becomes a state of depression, a broken spirit, etc., etc. So I would suggest that, one, if you got children, make sure you put them in an environment to be their best and think of different things for them to do, daily, weekly, because it's these things to do that lets them be happy, because it gives them something to look forward to. And the same thing works for you. So for us that, find ourselves upset, find ourselves frustrated about different things, and then we can't calm down, the easiest way to do it is to give yourself different things to look forward to. Give yourself different things to look forward to. And you will see that you're a lot happier waking up. You're a lot happier with your life. But when you don't got things to look forward to, and you're not doing things to help the people move forward, it gives you this sense of disdain, this sense of, I don't fit in, I'm not contributing. But don't be upset that you feel this way, because if anything, it's a sign that your spirit isn't completely broken, and you still seek to achieve what we as humans must do. We here to help each other. And as much as it might seem like we're not, we definitely are synchronized for greatness. But if we can't come together to achieve this, then what you think gonna happen? You see whole worlds created off people who don't get along no more. Like, I was listening to a song the other day, and I'm like, man, that's just Kanye, you feel me? You know how your brain used to certain things, like I'm used to Kanye's artistic way of displaying his music. And so when I hear certain tones, I automatically think of him, you feel me? And then it got to a point in the song where another artist came in, and I was like, hold on, when the hell? Hold on. When the hell Drake channel Kanye like that? And it's all because I'm sitting here thinking about how Drake and Kanye ain't getting along right. They don't fuck with each other. But in actuality, it don't mean they never did any music together. It don't mean they don't have a history together, which a lot of times the history together is the reason why people don't mess with each other no more. You feel me? It ain't too many people out here just like, man, I don't fuck with Shawty. I ain't got no reason. I just don't fuck with Shawty. You know what I'm saying? Majority of the time, it's people out here like, man, I used to kick it with Buddy. I used to give him everything. I used to look out for Shawty. You feel me? That dedication that you give to somebody and they don't reciprocate it becomes, a sense of, you like, dang, my nigga, I thought we was in it together. Like, what happened to when you look out for somebody and they say, I got your back, you feel me? And they really meant, like, once I got that bread back, I'm going to get it back to you. You feel me? And should you ever be in a situation where you need my help, I got you, bro. Because when I need it, you had me. You feel me? But if it ain't that, then what we really talking about? What we really talking about? Are you saying you got me because you know you're not going to look out? You feel me? That's what a lot of times people be. And it ain't even that they saying that shit straight up, because they ain't really about that. Because they would say that shit straight up, you can address that on the face of it. But a lot of times, that's the underline. They like, I got you. And in essence, they like, I got your ass. You ain't never getting that shit back. You feel me? You ain't never getting that shit back. So, that being said, don't get caught up out here expecting grown-ass kids to do what they ain't never did. You feel me? And at the same time, stop thinking somebody else know more than you, to the point that you allow for people to manipulate you. And you like, what shit, just maybe they doing something that's a reflection of, you know, their growth or something I must not understand. But after a little more research, I might understand it. You know, nigga, a lot of shit is right there on the surface. It look like somebody on some fuck shit, they on some fuck shit. And even if it's just as simple as that shit don't fit what you trying to accomplish, and then it's some fuck shit. Ain't no way around it. Can't function in it. Then it's some fuck shit. If every time you happy, you look over and this motherfucker mugging, it's some fuck shit. Quite frankly, the way they got us set up, we can't function like that. Ever wonder why it seems like relationships set up to fail? Because they got us thinking, oh, the best relationship is the relationship where the people are on top of each other, they don't never leave each other's side. That's the best relationship. But truth be told, try to live your relationship like that, bro. You gonna expose yourself so motherfucking fast. You gonna ruin and smother your shit out so fast. To the point you're gonna be like, what did I have? You're gonna be like, what did I have? Cause shit, the relationship I thought I did have, or the relationship I thought I had, that shit ain't worth too much of nothing. That shit was the burden that was burdening me down the whole time. Y'all ever notice when you get ready to get off work, you get a burst of energy? Shit, truth be told, it's because like we always talk about that obligation and resentment. Obligations and resentment. And after resenting your obligations for so long, once it's over with, it's like a weight lifted off of you. You feel me? And if you ever worked out in a weighted situation, you recognize that shoe. Once them weights off of you, you're like, dang, I can do the same shit that I was trying to do with so much efficiency now that the weight's off of me. But I appreciate y'all for being yourself and being what you was made to be. So you don't gotta be nobody else when you come over here. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, drop a comment, say what's up. But it's my way of saying what's up to you. We'll be back in a minute. I love you as myself, and nothing you can do about it is we are one. Kinfolk. Let me see what they talking about. Let me see what they talking about. Let me see what they talking about. Pull up a chair, come over here to the round table. We about to break it all down. So we just broke bread right now.